Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I do hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. We have another Spitfire available. This is the Flight Replicas Spitfire, available on the Microsoft Flight Sim in-sim Marketplace for both Xbox and PC. It cost me just over £16 from the marketplace, and it's just become available. So in this video I'm going to give you my first impressions and quick review of this Spitfire variant. Is it worth your money? And how does it compare with the other Spitfire models on the market currently? I'll be answering all that in this video. Okay, well, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so you find me at Goodwood Airport, runway 14, I believe. Now, I'm in the Mark II Spit. This does come with various different variants of the Spitfire. Just show you a bit of that on screen. You've got the sort of 1940s, early to mid-1940s, with various different liveries and makes. And you've also got the MK1 in there, and sort of mid to late 1940s. And you've also got some of the MK2 variants, which is the one I'm flying there. So there you go, you do get quite a lot of choice and different models, which is nice to see. Just take that off screen. And you do actually get a manual. Now I'm going to put the download link down below in the description. If you're on Xbox, that is, you can download it. If you're on PC, it goes in your community file, but it might be good to download the manual anyway. It's only about 15 pages, not very thorough, but you would expect that at around that 16 price point. So there we go. So I'll just show you now just the external modelling. This is the MK2 version. Looks okay. You do have a few scuffs. Wouldn't say it's of the highest quality, and I'm just being honest here. It's passable, but when you compare it to, I'm going to put my links to my 2 Spitfire review videos I did down below. Go and look at the Aeroplane 1 modelling, Aeroplane Heaven rather, modelling of the Spitfire. It's by far my favourite modelling inside Microsoft Flight Sim. I know a lot of you love the Flying Iron version. I'll put that video link down below for you as well. I did actually review that one, believe it or not, way back when it first released. This one, it's passable. Get internal into the cockpit. I'll just use my mouse simply for this one. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Spitfire, can you? You know, it seems that everything's clickable, and you can do a startup. You know, like I said, the manual will talk you through the startup of the engines and goodness knows what. And it seems to be, you know, you can have your visibility on and off. Don't believe, from what I've seen, that you can have a GPS system. Maybe I didn't see that in the manual. I could be wrong. Yeah, you know, various clickable hotspots and goodness knows what. Otherwise, your typical sort of Spitfire cockpit. I can leave that open. I'll close it. We should have it open to launch, shouldn't we? To launch, to take off. So what we will do, we'll actually take off, but what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to shut up and raise the volume, just so you can hear the sounds of me taking off and the sounds of the Spitfire. And so there you go. You probably heard me during that sound test there close the canopy, and I didn't really hear the noise in the cockpit change. I'll show you that again when I open and close the canopy, and it certainly should do in a Spitfire. And the closing of the canopy as well, yeah, there is a slight noise there when it closes. Yeah, but there should be quite a change there when you open and close the canopy. Now I've got some altitude. I'm using the 𝐒𝐻𝐢𝐫𝐞. I'm going to do a couple of barrel rolls. That's just far too easy. I'm just using a right deflection, full right on the yoke there. Even using a yoke, it's just far too simple. There's no real inertia there when you're doing barrel rolls or loop-the-loops, that type of thing. Doesn't feel quite realistic when you compare it to the Flying Iron version, and especially the Aeroplane Heaven version. You will be stalling and crashing at that point in that version. So let's just do a bit of inverted flying. It just feels a bit too easy, which, if some of you are having difficulties with the Flying Iron or the Aeroplane Heaven version, you may appreciate that. Externally, I mean, I've got the noises turned down so I can speak. External noises don't sound quite realistic. Internally, you do get quite a few nice changes of pitch tone, of engine tone rather. Well, you may be able to hear that a little bit later. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the back round and I'm going to come in for a landing to show you a landing in this Spitfire. And then I'll wrap up and give you my overall thoughts and conclusion. So there you go, I've just got the VFR map up just for a bit of guidance there to bring me back into Goodwood. A little bit away from it, but it gives us time to slow down. I'm about half throttle. There's no sound engine change there. There should be a change of tone with the engine when you go to half throttle, and there's simply not. I'm just going to put a stage of flaps in. Now, in something like the Flying Iron, especially in the Aeroplane Heaven version of the Spitfire, you put flaps in, you are fighting with this aircraft. With this one, yeah, it slows you down. I'm not really fighting with the aircraft to maintain control there. This just feels a little bit too easy, as I was saying before. Where do I need to come to? It looks like I need to come to my left slightly. Just zooming in on that map there. And see if we can spot Goodwood ahead of us. I believe it's just a bit yonder down here. Once I get nearer to it, the runway should become clearer. I believe it's there, isn't it? Coming over? We'll soon find out. So I've got my flaps down. Let's put gear down. The animation's quite nice on the landing gear, I've got to say. And the flaps there, you can see them quite nicely. I'm not really struggling once again to maintain control of that aircraft. It just feels a little bit like I'm in easy mode, per se. Just raise my flaps up just so I can properly spot Goodwood. Is that Goodwood ahead of me? It looks like it might be, but I keep saying that. Can I see any familiar markings? That should guide me. Just take a quick look around. Ah, we'll find it, no problem. It's okay, it's just that if you've been spoilt by any of the other Spitfire versions, you may be slightly disappointed in this one. I don't want to come too low now until I can spot that airfield properly. Where is that airfield? Why am I not spotting Goodwood? Ah, there it is. It's just yonder, isn't it? It's just here, in fact. Just to my left. There we go. So, what have I got? I've got my gear down, I've got my flaps up. I'm going to put my flaps down again. So there you go, flaps down. And again, I'm just having a very easy time. Listen, if you've been struggling, I know SimHanger did a live stream. I'm going to link SimHanger's live stream down below in the description. I took part in that as well. We did a live stream there, and I know a few people were struggling with the Spitfires. If you were one of them, maybe this will be a good training exercise. Although, if you want to go to the real thing, I could take this VFR map off now. I wouldn't slowly rely on this. But yeah, if you just found the other Spitfire modules too difficult, but you enjoy flying the Spitfire, you get nice views, typical Spitfire views, left or right. This may be the version for you. There it is. So I'll just do a nice turn. Yeah, you know, it shouldn't be this easy in a Spitfire. There is a nice... Let's try and get that change of tone in the engines. There you go. But I've got it about 25% now. And I'm just bringing that throttle back. Now, I'm going to try and replicate this. If you taxi when you come to land, let's just land first. So let's just get her down. That's it, she's down. So I'm going to taxi to the left. I'm going to go sharply just to see if I can replicate. Well, it didn't happen. But the wings will tip. There you go, it's tipping. See? If you're not careful on your taxi there, which is a nice feature. And I've just gone... Well, I've just hit my brake a little bit too hard there. But maybe that's the perfect way to finish. Typical Hodgson style, hey? Well, listen, do I recommend this? If you're a fan, if you want the true, authentic feeling of a Spitfire, maybe not. There's quite a few variants. I've not tested them all. I've tested the early 1940s model and the MK2 here, so this will be a more 1941 variant. It's nice to have those variants, but if you want the true authentic feel of a Spitfire, you may not get it from this. If you're finding generally the Spitfire too difficult to fly, I'm going to compare it specifically to the Aeroplane Heavens model. I love that one, and it's an old vintage model, the MK1 version, Mark 1 Spitfire. If you're finding that too difficult to fly, then this may be the Spitfire for you. Can't heavily recommend it. I just find it a bit too easy, not quite authentic enough for my own taste, but it might be right up your alley. But do let me know your thoughts. Are you tempted by this one? Do you own it already? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. Give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Always many more flight simulation videos on their way. And I'll be seeing you soon.